The substitute walked into our classroom 5 minutes after the bell rang. She didn't apologize. She didn't even smile. Without saying a word, she wrote Mrs. Thornton on the board, locked the classroom door, placed a cardboard box on the front table, and just stood there staring at us. "Phones," she said calmly, tapping the box. "Every single one." At first, we thought she was joking. She wasn't. One by one, we dropped our phones inside. She placed the box behind her desk and sat down in silence, scanning the room like she was memorizing every face. "Who was in this classroom yesterday at 3 p.m.? The room went quiet. "School ends at 2:30. No one had a reason to be here an hour later." A student suggested she might be thinking of another room. She slowly shook her head. "I'm not. Someone sitting here right now was in this classroom yesterday afternoon, and I can prove it." She held up a printed photo, and the air left the room. The classroom in the picture was completely destroyed. Desks overturned, student projects ripped off the walls, the whiteboard covered in spray-painted slurs and threats, the kind that could get someone expelled or even arrested. She explained it happened between 3 and 5 p.m. Security cameras had been covered with tape. The janitor discovered the damage at 6 a.m. Then she dropped the real bomb. Whoever did this took a selfie. The vandal had posted it to a private Snapchat story. Someone screenshotted it. By the end of the night, it made its way to her. The photo was taken in this exact room. Same whiteboard, same angle, same fresh spray paint. One of you did this. And that's when everything fell apart. Students started accusing each other. Old drama resurfaced, personal grudges exploded into shouting matches. Someone nearly threw a chair. Through it all, the substitute sat quietly, writing in a small notebook, watching every reaction carefully. That's when I noticed Garrett. He hadn't spoken once. Hood up, hands in his pockets, staring at his desk, his legs shaking so hard I could feel it through the floor. His friend Eli leaned over. "Yo, you okay?" No answer. Then Eli said something that changed everything. "Yesterday at 4 p.m., you texted me saying you were home playing Fortnite, but last night you told me you stayed after school for tutoring until 5. So which one was the lie?" The room turned toward Garrett. The substitute slowly stood and walked to his desk. "The selfie was taken right there," she said, pointing to the whiteboard. "The person in the photo was wearing a gray hoodie with a white logo. Garrett was wearing the exact same hoodie. He tried to cover the logo, but it was too late. It wasn't," his voice cracked. Then she crouched down in front of him. "My name isn't Mrs. Thornton," she said quietly. "I'm Mrs. Salazar, and you destroyed 4 years of my work because you got a C on a project." The entire room froze. She stood up and held up her phone. "I've been recording since I walked in. I have your friend confirming your alibi was a lie. I have you wearing the same clothes as the vandal, and I have an entire classroom that just watched you fall apart." Garrett broke down crying. She walked to the door and unlocked it. The principal and a police officer were waiting outside. Garrett was expelled. His parents were ordered to pay $11,000 in damages. The school district issued a public apology to Mrs. Salazar and gave her the budget to rebuild her classroom from scratch. And none of us ever forgot the day the substitute locked the door and turned the entire class against itself.